Welcome back to City Skylines. We are here at Sitzhafen and we are going to continue building probably just to the east of Willow District here, which I believe is actually should be called Wieden or Weiden. I can't remember whether Willow is Wieden or Weiden. Anyway, we'll call it Wieden for now. I'm going to change it to Weiden if it needs to be changed later. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to, I think, completely rework this and turn this into a single road. What I mean by that is merging those two branches that are parallel to each other into a single line, and I might do that over here. I think it's the best place for it because I'm quite happy with the way this section looks and functions, but once we get over here and we start curving around the place, I don't really want to run two roads parallel to each other. Secondly, I also want to build out over here. I was thinking of building another village, but what I think we'll do is we'll try Superblock, and I'm going to try something different. I'm going to try Superblock that cuts over this railway line. So it'll have commercial in the middle and then residential either side. So I'm going to start with that, and what I want to do is get the angle right, which is going to be, we'll start 4 units away from the line here. That's a 10. And I think we're going to have to start here, but that's a 10 by 10 block there. So I'm going to see how many 10 by 10 blocks I can build while still leaving a nice gap between this and that one. I don't think I can build another block. Oh, yes I can. Okay, I can build one more there. So we can go 3 on this side of the line, which means then we can go 2 on the south side of the line. So I'm going to go another 3 squares down. That just gives me a bit of distance actually. I think I'll go 5 squares down on this side. I need this distance here for the purposes of building a connection into the line, rail connection later on. Okay, so now I can turn this actually. I've just realized I've created a problem for myself by building this either side of the line. I'm going to have to run a series of roads over the line, or I'm going to have to sink the railway below the surface. I do not have the ability yet to construct railway lines. So what I'm going to do is build the northern half first and completely fill out the northern half. So we're going to completely ignore the southern. Okay, let's go out to 30. And here we go. Okay, so this is basically kind of 2/3 of a super block here, and then we'll build the other section down here on this side of the line. And we'll run some we'll sink the railway line at a later stage. I think that's the best way to do it. Sink the railway line. No, is it? This could be real problematic. I may have just created a rod for my own back here. Anyway. This looks like some sort of corridor could go through between there and there, but okay, so we'll join that up there, so that gives us our nice long run down against there. We've got this road here which can connect in there, so there's our 2 connection points around the other super block, and we'll start filling this one in very shortly with residential units. Okay, that's good enough for water supply. Water supply, which reminds me, I should probably stick in the clean water pump and delete the old dirty one, and you'll see the pollution should immediately start washing away. There we go, there's the line of the pollution working its way down the river, and now we are using, basically, we're now emitting clean-ish water from the city. Is that one plugged in? Yeah, it's plugged in. Oh yeah, it's spilling. You can see the goo coming out the end of that pipe now. Good. So, development over here. I'm going to run a residential line through here, like that. That'll bring power and all the other necessaries through. And then with this little tool here, I may just turn a couple of these, just a couple of them, I'm just going to add some interest in to break up the lines a little bit. There we go, that works quite well. In fact, I'm going to connect that one to there as well. So we've got a nice, there's some pretty big plaza-y square things here. Those are some mad intersections. I wonder if that's going to be a problem later. That is a mad intersection. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is that a 7 entrance intersection? My God. Mein Gott. Okay, I'm going to change what I'm doing here. Okay, that's a bit better. No, it's not a bit better. That's a bit worse. Okay, we're going to go with that. I'm going to skip doing those crazy angular things. So, our residents have started showing up. Let's block in those two as well. In fact, let's just get this whole area growing like that. There's plenty of demand, so a couple of them won't have power right away, but I'm hoping it fills out fast enough so that it has no long-term effect. So it looks like we're not going to get a residential corridor through here, but I'm not too fussed about that at the moment. Let's look at the highway system we're trying to build over here. So I've got these three-way, oh, they're two-lane roads. Okay, these are dual, these are two-laners. I might go with a three-laner now. Yeah, let's go with 3 lanes. Okay, we're just upgrading these all to 3 lanes. It's going to change my speed limits down to 60, I think, doing this. So we'll have to push the speed limits back up. So now we have 3-lane roads running down. I'm going to build a roundabout over here, because I want these 3-lane roads to basically be able to exit. So I'm going to extend this to there by 3. I'm going to put that there. I'm going to go, I can't really do that. So then we go out by 3, down by 3, out by 3, down by 3. Takes 2 straight sections in. These need to be going the other direction. Okay, then we continue this down by 3. Across by 3, down by 3, across by 3, and a straight one in like that. Okay, so now we've got this sort of square roundabout. So it's going to change the traffic flow, it's going to change the speed of the traffic to this point. We can also now run, oh, this is interesting. I can run a little tricky system here by go up to 12 for there. We run it to there. We go down to 0 for there, and we link that into there. I'm just thinking I could have probably put another road which comes off here as well from these, for example, like this sort of thing. Let's just see if this works. No, it doesn't. We'll leave it. We'll leave this as a completely self-contained road. Now, what I want to do is I want a one-way 3x3 highway, which is this here. And it needs to go like... Oh, I can't connect it in. Turn road anarchy on. Kill those. Do that. That should be... Yeah, that's dual way. Good. Then we go back to this three-way road. And we'll try and build that back in again. So 3. We'll do it like that. 3. And in like that. Okay, so that slightly changes the angles of the corner. But it works. And now we have this nice 3x3 highway, which we can send down over the line and down to the south. I've just noticed that those trees didn't remove because I've got the prop and tree anarchy on, which is now off. Good. So there we are. So this starts basically the faster road network. Change our speed limits. We want 100 then, all down here. And then we'll slow down to 80 and then 60 and then 60 around there, and then back off to 100 for these guys, 60 and 80 for those guys as they approach the intersection. We are done with that. We are missing this electricity connection here. Rebuild that. Good. These guys just got their electricity back, which had been missing. Very nice. Now I do need to build a cemetery soon. We should have the next level of town at is it 2,600 or is that thing there? 2,800. Oh god, that's miles off. Okay, we've got a long way off before we can do that. Now I'm going to turn these guys over here into a district. The reason I do this is because I think we can merge them into one district actually. They're kind of, I know they're two villages, but let's get rid of, there we go. So it's all Primrose Square. Silly name for it. We'll change that, I think. And this is going to become agricultural. So, boom. And now what I want to do is shove a couple of agricultural plots in, and these will make little farmy type structures. It's quite fun. So we shove a little farm type structure in there, and we'll put them next to these fields where necessary. And they look quite good once they show up. That's probably enough, I think. Just a few of those. Demand for everything's pretty low right now, so let's just check if we need any infrastructure. Let's start at the beginning with healthcare. Healthcare looks good. Fire safety, those features look good. Policing is fine. Schooling is fine. So we don't need to build any services. That doesn't mean we won't. What I might do is build some parks. Tennis court. Okay, does anyone want a tennis court? Do you guys want a tennis court? Shall I drop one in here at the entrance, or shall I drop it over here? No, let's put it up here. Let's give you guys a tennis court. B-ball and a mini football field. Nah, not bothered by that. Now, here's one thing I've got here, which is new. This is a Spitfire park, a little Spitfire monument park. This was built for me, this little asset was built for me by Porco Rosso. He is a fellow YouTuber and a fellow flight simmer, and he sent me a little email, a little message telling me he had built this asset. It is a little monument of a Spitfire in a park. Now, I'm going to build this later, but I think I'm going to build it near the cemetery, and it's going to be a kind of war memorial type thing, so we'll leave that till later. But that's something to look forward to, isn't it? My children. Right. Schrebergarten. We can build a Schrebergarten, which I will do. I'm going to shove it there, and then I'll stick residential either side of it, like that. This will look really grand. It's a great little asset with these little mini garden things. And if you've got the right sized 2, 4, 6, 8, I think 2, 4, 6, 8, yeah, an 8 sized 8 by 8 square, which is a 10 by 10 road, then you can put one in the middle and run 2 rows of residential, one either side, and it looks really good. Let's see if some of that industrial stuff is filling out. No, doesn't appear to be. That's okay, we can wait. We're a patient people. We are a patient people. Commercial interest is just climbing a fraction, so what I might do, I'd love to put a commercial strip along here next to the railway line, but I think I'll do that on the south side, and then we'll bring the line in and we'll build a railway station, something like that. So let's just put a tad of commercial in here, just so there's something for this. And then we'll go around and add some car parking in as well. Car parking tends to fill up very quickly, creates a lot of demand. You can actually shove a whole car park in here. Why is that not? I wonder why that's not building where I wanted it to. One to the left. Huh, very strange. Oh, there's a couple of people playing tennis. Let's put that car park there. We've got the tennis court on one side, and then maybe we should build another park on the other side. Another recreational facility, like this football pitch, for example. Okay, so this area is becoming a bit of a sports facility, sort of a local sporting area. So I'm going to run this. Okay, that's not really very straight, but in fact I don't like that at all. I'm going to make it straight by squeezing that out to there, you to there, and then I'll just go curvy on that. That works. Oopsie, that was a mistake. Need to do that. So we are missing water here, which is no surprise because it's not connected. So I'll start in the middle of this road and I'll bring a pipe to there and then down. I know it's a lot of overlap with the other pipe, but it's just a small section to square this away. Jolly good. Now we can probably shove in car parking along the back here too. We know how these people love their car parks. 4 along there, 1 there and 1 there. And then we'll shove in some trees, I think. Yeah, it's on this one, trees. And we'll just... get some small trees down here. Sounds like a horse. Not sure where that sound is coming from. So there we go. We've built our little recreational... Ah, this thing is actually off-center. That's probably why nothing seemed to work here. Yeah, it's off-center. I think because it was lining up on a different road. Was lining up on a different road, so it wasn't quite square. That's better now. It was lining up on this road here, and this road wasn't square for some reason. But seems we've solved that. I think this actually could go this way a bit more. It's a little bit wonky over here. You can see the line of these squares is a bit in fact, I'll delete these car parks and put some new ones in. There we go. And then we've got some space for a few more trees behind them as well. Okay, fine. Bit better. Still a bit ugly here, but I'm not going to spend all my life trying to fix that up. Now you can see that we've got a population of nearly 2,000. This is filling out quite nicely. And all this area over here is quite busy indeed with traffic. No one's using the football pitch, which I'm a bit disappointed about. That's costing me a lot. 176 a week. Blimey, we need more rates. So we're going to have to fill out more zoning. Let's get that zoned, we'll get that zoned, we'll get this one here zoned, and that one zoned. There we go. Let's smash out this whole block. You can see the traffic along here. This is going to get really busy, I think. So what I'd ideally like to do is get another exit off the motorway. And I think we can achieve that by purchasing this square here for 7,800 units and then trying to run a couple of entrances and exits off this motorway. So this is really tricky to do, and I'm very, very crap at this. I'm going to try and use road anarchy to get an off ramp and then an on ramp. So we need the what we do is let's go right, we'll find a dot, we'll go 5 out, then we'll go to the next dot and we'll go to the previous dot. No, on-ramps need to be long. So go 2 dots, and then we'll go 2 dots. Is it the same distance? Doesn't look like it. That looks like the same distance. 24 units. 23 units, yeah. So it's about there. Then we can delete this. And move this kind of like that. Okay, now what I need to do is get this as close to there without It actually looks like it's creating an intersection. I don't want a pedestrian crossing there, but I can't build the actual slipways. There are actual motorway slipways in the road pack, but I don't have access to them just yet. Yeah, they are in there. 2-lane highway. National road. Highway ramp. That's what I need to use, but I can't build them yet. And I'll have to upgrade these roads to that later. So all I can do at the moment is try and make this work as best as possible, despite the fact that it's going to put intersections in. Oh, that's getting ugly. That's getting ugly. Yeah. You can see it's really messing up over here. Okay, it's not wanting me to really do any kind of proper intersection here. This one's alright-ish. So we've got an out, and then we do the same on the other side here, basically. So we've got this situation. Okay, that actually needs to be upgraded. Damn it, I've messed this up because I allowed myself to build it as a two-way, and it should be a one-way. That's a real disappointment. I don't think it's going to be possible now for me to build this at all, because I think I've messed up. Oh, I did it again. Would you believe it? I did it twice. Okay, so that is an off-ramp of sorts, and this needs to be an on-ramp. I've got to make sure I do the one-way. God, it's ugly as hell. Okay. So there we go. There's a very makeshift attempt at an on and off. I'll do the same over here. So I'll go from there, I'll go 5 out. Start from there, go 5 out. And then I'll go to about there. And then we'll go to about there. Now this needs to be all going that way. Let's get this all going the same direction. And then this needs to come in about there. About there. And then this one, we go along here and we come in about there. Delete that. Okay, so that actually doesn't look too bad. It's not symmetrical. This one looks way better than that one. So the second one actually kind of works. But it's going the wrong way. Okay, there we go. It's really sharp off-ramp. You know, the traffic has to slow down considerably to get off there. This would not work in real life. You wouldn't have it at that sharp an angle. But at the moment I don't have access to the right assets to get it working properly, so we'll just make do. Now, we'll get a 2-lane. Two lane coming off the center. What I'll do first is just take a road off here on that angle. Yeah, okay. probably just do this. This lot needs to go over, and so does this. There needs to be a way of getting over the so I need a two-way bridge that crosses the line and connects into both these roads. Delete that. So we go the two-lane bridge. It's going to start at 12. Whoops. It's going to start at 12 units, which is the clearance you need to get across one road over another road. Then it's going to come down to 0. Yeah, like that. Like that. Okay. And this needs to connect into there, and this needs to connect into there. I think that's everything. So we go one way from there to there, and a one way from and a one way from, how big is that? 4 units to there. That needs to be like that. Now if this becomes a main intersection, then it's going to be a real nightmare later on. Let's just hope it doesn't become a main intersection. Go 4 and back, 4 and back, and this one needs to go that way, and that one needs to go that way. So there we go. We have kind of got ourselves an on-off connection into this village, or this part of town, and I have absolutely no idea how this is going to work, or if it's going to work. We just have to wait till the first cars start flowing in before we will know. No one appears that fussed on using it just yet. Gotta make sure it works. That one can go up over the bridge and it can go back out. That's going the right way, guys. And here's the first entrant. Here we go. So he comes off the highway and he shoots down here. Looks like the speed limit is 30. And he's away. Okay, we have our first user. This road here should probably be upgraded so that it's two-way all the way in. Yeah, we'll do that. So we're connected over there now. Population 2,100. We need to keep expanding our population. We've got a lot of demand for industrial and commercial. Looking over here now, we can see some of those industrial buildings. So this one I built before. This is turned out as a glass greenhouse. Looks like it's a forest foundation. Okay, looks like you can probably buy stuff from them, I guess. This one here has turned into sort of an agricultural looking shed. Where's the other ones? There's one over there. That looks, no, that's not, that's residential. They blend in really well and they look really good. Okay, well I won't bother dithering around looking at too many more. Industrial demand. Now, industrial demand, I'm going to build over here a small section where we can basically have a little forestry going on. So I'm going to build very small plots here. I'll build a 4x4 and a 3x3 and a 2x2. I'll give them water. give them electricidad. Let's check the zoning. Okay, I'll put another one just on the outside here. And then we'll go power to the people. Get that industrial happening. So these will turn into... Oh, I need to zone it, actually, first. And I need to tell it to be forestry. Now, hopefully they won't... Oh yeah, that one's got forestry. Okay, these should hopefully now turn into lumber related. That's not going for lumber. That's going for some sort of chemical industry. That's going for lumber. Okay, so fine. So, sort of worked. Oh, that's actually a plantation. Super. Okay, so we've got Madison Heights. Let's go with, I don't know, something rather Forest. Let's just see if there's anything nearby. Okay. Cloa Forest. That'll do. Little forest. Tickety-boo. This looks very developable, doesn't it? It's enticingly presented. 1,800 per week, I think that is. Now we can probably fill these guys out here with a bit of residential. Oh, there's an intersection that doesn't work. Works now. Which means I think we can probably run that into there. And we can block this out with resi. Fire station. Grew up quite close to a fire station, and when that alarm went off, oh, it woke the whole neighbourhood. Do we need another school now? We may be at the point where we need where demand is high for schools. We're getting there. I think it's time we just built one, even if it's a stopgap measure. The school can go here. That puts it very close to these recreational facilities. It's quite a cool looking school. Now this all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this Veden place actually. I'm going to extend you into here. So you're going to be part of the same district. And I wonder if we can do policies now. We can do self-sufficient buildings. I don't know if we want to do that. Let's just check. Oops, no, you go away. I've got to get rid of that. Right, let's check the policies. Oh, I can't allocate a theme yet. Why can't I allocate a theme? Enable theme management. Right, we're going to go with the Central European. Oh, we'll go with European Suburbia. That'll work. We'll do the same here. Enable theme management. We'll go with European Suburbia. And we'll do the same here with theme management. We'll go with European Suburbia. So there we go. That will, over time, hopefully, just slowly change the visual appearance. So it looks more like a European. It'll use the European Suburbia assets pack that I've got, that I've downloaded. So there remains the question about what I should do in here, whether I should leave this for a future access corridor of some description, or whether I should leave as is. This over here should be changed to do this. This can be removed, and we can add in one of these to do that, one of these to do that. So there we go, we've now changed this so that folks will come in like that. Do we want to try building some commercial and residential or industrial up here? Because we are up against the line. I don't think we will. We could actually build into this area here with some forestry. Got lots of options here. I've got all this forestry here. This is potentially a real kind of potential growth area up here. Population has climbed through 2,160 some. So maybe a little bit of commercial in here is needed. In order to push that to there. Okay, I'm just going to run these water pipes up to here, just so I've got water on the north side if needed. This little bit of commercial is now going in. Don't need the power lines anymore. Okay. Which also means we should build a car park over this side. Let's go with a car park right in the middle of this commercial block there. And then we can put some more of this stuff either side of it. So that's nice. This is not going to be serviced by any nearby. Ah, there's a village can go in here now. That's what we're going to do. We'll take this road off from here. And we will bring it into there. Build a little bit of a... So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to make this more industrial. It's still going to have a few residential plots, and I'm still going to use a few of those farm type things, but I want to just get this a bit more gritty than the other village. At the moment it's just a bit too... Is that enough? So there we go. We've got the backbone of a village in place. I'll run that to there, and then I'm going to run this basically along. Okay, that fills it in with water. Electricity will have to come from somewhere else, and I'm just going to take a short break and we'll be back very soon. Right, let's continue. And we're going to try and just squeeze in a few more bits and pieces around here. We're going to leave that gap as it is, I think. That should ideally be parallel to that one. I wonder if we can do that. If I start at the bottom here and go like that, and then chop that off, we do something like this. Good. So we'll get some more residential in here. Whoops. And along there, and there, and there. So now we have demand for a bit of industrial. I'm going to stick in a new one or two industrial bits and pieces in here. This is the sort of farming area I'm building. In fact, what I'll do is I'll try to get the fields in first. So we go with a field, and then we throw in a there. We can probably get one in there. We can probably get two in here. I think I've got different shape fields as well. Oh, that's a ginormous field. That can go there. Okay. I think that's it. Should we put one in? Get rid of Rosemary Street and we'll shove a big ginormous field in there. No, it's not there. Okay, so there's my series of farm fields. We just need a couple more industrial plots. We'll go with one there. We'll go with one on the corner there. And we'll go with a 3x3 there, and then we'll put in our housing. Go with a house there, put a house there, we'll put a house there, put one house there, single unit there, a house there, get a house there, we'll put a couple of single units in there, we'll get another house there, we'll probably get an industrial unit in there, and in there, then we'll put a house there, there and there. Good. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then we'll probably have an industrial unit there. Then we need to tell, hopefully this is all farm. No. Crappity. Middle Hills will be agriculture. And you can see we've got some... Unfortunately, I forgot to zone it before I put the industrial stuff in, so it's going to be a bit mixed, I think. It's not going to quite do what we want it to do. For example, we've got this... Oh no, that is actually a agricultural looking building. That's quite nice, that one there. Some of the individual houses are building out now. So once this has all been settled with the various houses, then we'll start putting a little bit more infrastructure in. Now what I do have also is I've got these quite nice fences somewhere. I think it's under the ploppables in here. No. I might add some more of those things with some mods actually, because they're quite cool. Okay, in here. Here we go. So I've got a series of hedges I can add in. And I think there may be some fences as well. All sorts of structures here. Grass, grassy walls, signposts, umbrellas. Various structures here. That's quite nice. Oh, it's a castle wall ruin. So let's go back up to this lot here. And I'll put some hedges in maybe. Some of these could come in quite handy. Park related materials. Industrial related stuff. Don't know what this is. Random large billboard. Can stick some of these along the highway, they can look quite good. More billboards, yada, yada, yada. So let's have a look now. We'll try and run some... Okay, that's a fence. That's a nice looking rural, very rural looking fence. So what I can do is get in close here. And we can just make some shapes out of these fences. There's a short one here too. So you can see we've got this bit of a there. This is probably going a bit over the top in terms of detail. I'm not normally interested in doing this stuff, so I'll probably not bother too much here with it. You go there, you go there. Then we had this little one that was crossing over here. Whatever. There we go. Anyway, you get the idea. And then we can put some trees in where these joins are in the fence. Right, now we'll throw in a few trees just into the neighbourhood here. Try and flesh this village out a little bit. And we'll run a row of pines, I think, across the back. Let's just do that there. Make it a couple thick. Then grab a few more less ginormous looking trees. These are these redwoods. They're incredible. Incredibly massive things. Probably too big, in fact. And stick a few of these ones intermittently between those ones. Run that line down to there. Yeah, those ones are too big, those redwoods. I don't like them. They're just a bit out of place. And a couple more. I like to put them on the corners of the fields like this. It just helps make it look like there's a little copse at the end of the field. Little copse of trees. Okay, I think we're pretty close to being finished here. Don't want to overkill. There we go. So there's another. That building I don't like at all. That's completely out of place here. So I'm gonna tell it to D-zone like that, so it gets a smaller house. So there we have another village, another bit of agriculture, a couple of industrial buildings scattered throughout. Middle hills. Although it's flat, there's no hills to speak of. Let's actually run another. Let's run a bit of a dirt path back like that, and then we'll give that a bit of a tree lining. There we go. There's actually a tractor using that. Now there's a site. Tractor pulling a grain thing. Doing exactly what one would expect. Nice. So there we go, another village complete. Got a little bit of industrial stuff in, so now we've got this demand for residential again, so we can probably... Oh, hello, that's the sign of lacking electricity, that is. So we need to build a couple more wind turbines, and we don't really have the wind resource. Actually, we do have some wind resource way up here. Or over there. I wonder if I should shove a couple up on this hillside here and then run the line down. It's going to be a long line, but I can build infrastructure up here. Or I do an offshore project. Oh, I can build an offshore project soon when I get to 2,800. So what we'll do is we'll go with some... Oh, there we go. Offshore wind turbine. Okay, so what I might do is run... How are we going to connect these guys up? Or here. Okay, I'll go with one offshore, or I could just build solar in this village. I think that's a better idea. 2 megawatt solar power plant. And we'll do what they do here in Germany, and we'll shove them alongside the motorway. So what I'm going to do is build a little rural road, and I want it to be basically 4 squares from the motorway. That's only 2. Or I could run it right next to the motorway and... Nope. Okay, we'll try there. That's 3. That's 4. Okay, so now I've got this, I can shove in some solar power stations. 3, 4. Stick 4 of those bad boys in here. And then I'll just run this road over like that. Just move this so it runs parallel to the motorway, just looks a little bit tidier, and we'll get some trees in here. Okay, we've got a vehicle using this road already. Farmers really do like to take advantage of roads. Good, good. I should have solved my power problem. I'm going to just knock down 1 or 2 of these pines because they're too close to this station. We'll go with that, and then we'll shove in some smaller trees like that there. That's better. Good. Very good indeed. There's a weird kink in this road up here. Okay, weird. Sort of resolved it, but it's a bit odd still. Very good. So we've got our 3 sort of rural villages lined up the back there. And our main sort of urban area here with 2 kind of mini towns, self-supporting towns over here. These will need some beautification as well, just to make them look a bit more natural. We can come over here and we can keep building in that direction as well. 2,288 people. There's a bad intersection there. This one to there, and this one to there. There we go. Let's solve that. You see them flicking occasionally. Just means you've built a bad intersection. You see them flickering. Yeah. There we go. Fill that back in. I think we're going to need a road over the railway line. So I'm going to smash that. And let's assume we do get something down here eventually. 12. Let's go from there to there. Okay, and we'll go with a 5 down drop. So we'll do the same here. We'll go 5 till we hit the thing. Now along and in there. You can go into there, and you can go into there. Traffic can now cross the rail line. There's a train tootling through. Vroom. And we'll also run this one over the line as well, so traffic will cross from there too. This is going to be our block on the south side eventually. Okay, that's not quite in the middle, it's not symmetrical, but it doesn't matter. We've got a nice run up against the line. Residential demand. we've got a fire over here. How are our services? That's fine. That's starting to go up. Those are fine. That's fine. So, we'll block in some more residential over here. Behind the commercial area. And I'll just check where the nearest fire station is, because sometimes it's a matter of distance. No, that's okay. The distance between there and there is about the same as the distance between there and there, although they are going to have a little bit of trouble getting there quickly because they have to go down, around, and around the corner. So I wonder whether we should try and connect up some of these a little bit better. Is that going to work? No, that's often a funny angle. That also probably is going to be a funny angle. How's that for a weird corner? What if I do this? No, it's not going to work. If I do that, just creates a little bit of a connection there between the two. Probably will add some. No, I want to leave these, don't I? Because I was going to put some sort of access through there eventually in the future. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, this road may end up running up through here. We'll have a look at that some point in the future. Right, I need to keep pushing for growth here because I need to get my 2,800. I'd like to do it sooner rather than later. You can fill in. Where can I build new residential? It's going to have to be south of the line. That one's a bit too short. 10, 10, 20. Okay, so I've got two. You know what? I can actually block this out. I can continue blocking this out to the south. I don't need to worry about just making this the finishing of the other block. What I'll do is I'll make this a whole entirely new block of its own. There we go. And we'll run electricity. Oh, I could shove it next to the line there too. Oh, that's really handy for later when... That's good to know that that's a 4 distant. That's very, very good to know. Okay, we need to get our power lines and bring them across the line here. And resi. Okay, we'll just do that for now. Residential. Speed up and we'll get this to finish itself out. What's going on over here? Oh, it's just the sun reflecting off that building. I thought it was a... This needs to be a district as well. Let's go with... And this one can be... let's check the theme. Enable themes. And I'm going to go with not European suburb, but Central European. Probably too late for the first houses, but the second groups of houses will hopefully now all adopt the European housing style, Central European housing style. This is Does that look like European suburb? Yeah, it kind of does. It's quite sort of English looking. We've got a bit of crime happening down here. This may mean the need for policing. No. Everything seems really good. Average health is a bit low. A major shove in a new health clinic. Sports hall gymnasium. You know where that can go, don't we? Can go up here with this lot. There, right there. And then we can put car parks, my favourite thing in the world. Along there. And trees, my other favourite thing in the world. Behind there. So there we go, we've got, this is a whole massive sort of recreational area. Tennis court, football court, loads of car parking, something, a primary school, and a giant sports gymnasium. I have residential demand. Why are they not filling out this area over here? Maybe it's time I built this road. Okay, that whole intersection area has been quite well patronised now, which is what we wanted. Okay, it's an interesting little industrial building. Really quite high residential demand. Why is this not filling out? See no reason for this. Too far from a school, perhaps? Should I build a kindergarten? In the middle of this area? Gonna do it. And then we'll build residential all around the back of that school. Okay, well, it does not look like we're going to hit 2,800 population in this episode. We still have quite a bit of building to go. And for now, the population seems quite content just holding itself at around the 2,500 mark, despite the demand for residential. This area in particular here is not filling out. What I might need to do is bring this road across as well. That will give it access to the... In fact, we'll do that quickly now before we come to a close here. So it's this here we need. We'll go to the, actually I'll build the overpass first. 12 and to there, and then we go down to 0 over 5. Actually we'll make it over 10 and you down to 0. 3 0 over to there. So there we go, we've got another overpass. I'll run this down like that. And we'll just connect that in there. So that just brings, hopefully, another bit of access to the motorway network in for these guys here. Still no sign that it's going to build out. We'll just have to wait to see what happens. And hopefully get a bit more population in here. That concludes the next episode of City Skylines at Sitzhafen. I think we've got a nice little view there we can use for the thumbnail. Thanks for watching as usual, and we'll see you again next time.